What's up, everybody? Scarlet Crusade lore with Platinumwow, World of Warcraft. Well, we're here with Platinumwow to give us some lore background on the Scarlet Crusade. I know pretty much everything about the Scarlet Crusade, so anything that I don't know lore-wise that I find out in this video is great. They are my favorite group. Not of people, but just like their story and background and lore and everything about them. I just find it so fascinating. Scarlet Monastery, everything to do with that. The Terrasfall Glades and everything to do with that and the starting zones for Undead. Just the Scarlet Crusade are such a cool group. I made it a thing to where all of my alts have to go to the Scarlet Crusade server. And if you know that server, you know you are not going to play with a single person in your life because it's dead.
One of the most infamous enemies in the World of Warcraft is the Scarlet Crusade, an army of fanatical zealots who will smite anyone not a part of their order. But they were always like this. In fact, their origins are quite tragic. During the Second War on Azeroth, the elite order of paladins called the Knights of the Silver Hand were formed. Its founding members were Uther, Trellian, Tyrion Fordring, Gavin Rad, and Saidan Dathrohan.
Yep. That's the only dude I kind of don't know too much about, but otherwise, the other four, yeah.
During the war, the Knights of the Silver Hand battled the Orcs and healed the wounded with their holy magic. And in the end, the Alliance won the Second War. But the Third War, well, the Third War is when the Knights of the Silver Hand's faith would truly be tested.
Oh, I get it. Faith instead of fate.
The kingdom of Lordaeron was left in ruin. The plague of undeath turned the citizens into shambling scourge, and Prince Arthas Menethil was the spearhead of this necromantic destruction. But it was the Knights of the Silver Hand's duty to bring holy judgment. I mean, they crushed the orcs in the Second War, so surely these undead wouldn't be a problem. Gavin Rad is killed, Uther is killed, Tyrion was kicked out of the Order after the Second War, Trellian chased after the orcs through the Dark Portal after the Second War, so who in the light knows where he is? He's most likely dead. So all that is to say, we kind of just have one founding member of the Knights of the Silver Hand left, Saidan Dathrohan.
Don't tell me he has something to do with the Scarlet Crusade. I just don't recognize the name.
Or do we? Because during one of Saidan's offensive attacks on Stratholme after the Third War, he was possessed by the Dreadlord Balnazar.
Oh.
The Nathrezim did this so he could manipulate the citizens of Lordaeron into a new, powerful army to protect the Dreadlord. But first, there was an important foe that needed to be slain. The paladin Alexandros Mogray, wielder of the mighty weapon called the Ashbringer, was a dangerous foe. And his faith in the light would make him near impossible to corrupt. So Balnazar needed to find a way to slay him. So what was Balnazar's solution for dealing with the Ashbringer? Well, as Saidan Dathrohan, Balnazar convinced Alexandros' son, Renault, to slay his own father. And in exchange, he would be promoted to commander of the new crusade he was forming. And get a very fashionable and cool bandana.
Nah, there's no way.
So Renault uses the Ashbringer to slay his own father in an act of pure evil that corrupts the weapon. But keep this betrayal in mind because it's going to haunt Renault later in the video. Now with Alexandros Mogray out of the picture,
power hungry,
work on creating his own crusade. You see, as Saidan Dathrohan, he was one of the last beacons of hope for Lordaeron, the only active founding member of the Knights of the Silver Hand left, and he wanted to weaponize that faith the desperate citizens of Lordaeron had in him. He preached to the citizens of Lordaeron the threat of outsiders, human, undead, or otherwise, who could be spreading the plague of undeath, and any who do not fight directly under the banner of his new Scarlet Crusade would be smited with holy fervor. Or is it smitten? Or smoted? Look, they need to be destroyed.
It's smarted, bro. Get it right.
Some people didn't agree with Saidan's extreme opinions and generally just thought he was a bit suspicious and left to go make the Argent Dawn instead. The Argent Dawn is similar to the Crusade, except they only care about fighting the Scourge, not literally everyone else. Meanwhile, in the ruins of Lordaeron, the Lich King lost control of the Forsaken, giving them free will. But do you think the Scarlet Crusade actually cared? Of course not. They're still zombies that eat people and are creating a new plague and control the ruins of Lordaeron, so they need to be purged. But the unfortunate thing for the Scarlet Crusade
Undead gang.
This marks the start of Classic WoW. And from here on out, the Scarlet Crusade is going to get their light-worshipping butts kicked by us, the heroes of Azeroth. In the Scarlet Monastery, heroes fight through the graveyard, library, armory, and cathedral sections of the monastery.
Some of the best dungeons of all time.
The leaders of the monastery, High Inquisitor Whitemane and Renault Mograine, with his fashionable bandana,
I already knew that,
don't
though.
actually die here. Renault actually dies during a special in-game event when heroes enter the cathedral wielding the corrupted Ashbringer, and the ghost of Alexandros Mograine jumps out of the blade and slays the son that betrayed him. Lady Whitemane also is not officially dead until the Mist of Pandaria, when the Scarlet Monastery was revamped, and then later in the Legion expansion, the monastery was left in ruin by the Knights of the Ebon Blade, and she was raised as a new member of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, becoming the very thing she swore to destroy.
Oh, that kind of cool. I knew she was that, but I didn't put two and two together that it's the same exact person.
But let's jump back to
That's kind of cool.
After taking the fight to the Scarlet Monastery,
I really love this video, by the way.
the Plaguelands.
I'm not even talking. I'm not even really reacting. I'm just loving this.
And an uneasy truce is achieved between the Scarlet Crusade and the Argent Dawn when the flying fortress of death called Naxxramas appeared over the eastern Plaguelands. This was the first and probably last time the Crusade achieved an uneasy alliance with outsiders. After the Scourge denizens of Naxxramas were defeated, typically this is where the story would end in Classic WoW. But during the Season of Discovery, heroes must side with Scarlet Crusade rebels who have discovered the true identity of Satan Dathrohan, aka...
Oh, this is the fake lore. I don't know if this is really fake, but to me it's fake because it's Season of Discovery. Because there's a new raid now in their final phase, so...
Balnazar, and mysteriously, he has returned. And heroes must lead the...
Let me know, but I'm assuming this is fake at this point. I know they control this in actual WoW, but, I mean... Is this... It has to be fake, because it's not... This is like a filler, right? Like a filler that's not canon, so it's like...
Scarlet Enclave and
fake.
Bring the fight to the Dreadlord Master, pulling the strings of the Crusade. And you have to play the Season of Discovery yourself to see what happens next.
Actually, fillers might not be fake. They're just like side shit that is not made not really a part of the story. It doesn't really affect the story. This affects the story. This is some fake shit.
You see, the lore added in the Season of Discovery is meant to be, well...
Added in Season of Discovery. I'm just going to keep pausing it and saying this is some fake shit.
Discovered. But we do know at the start of the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, the Scarlet Enclave is controlled by loyal Crusade members. But this doesn't last for long as another flying fortress of death looms over the Scarlet Crusade homeland. This time by the Lich King's loyal Death Knights who burn the city to the ground.
Oh, okay. Now this makes sense. So this is we're back. We're back to normal WoW. I got this.
A splinter group of the Crusade called the Scarlet Onslaught travels to Northrend to dispense more holy justice against the Scourge and any who oppose them, except somehow, someway, another Dreadlord, Mal'Ganis, infiltrates their organization, and that combined with us, the heroes, beating them up, kind of ruins the Scarlet Onslaught's plans. So throughout Warcraft history, the Scarlet Crusade has been defeated over and over again, but even to this day, they still haven't given up. More recently, the Scarlet Crusade conducted a brutal attack against the Forsaken in Silverpine, and also took control over the city of Gilneas. For a brief moment in time, only for the Gilneans and the Forsaken to team up and take back the city for its original owners.
They're just L after L.
Crusade return in some capacity in the future. But now, in the Season of Discovery, we can experience their shrouded history in the Scarlet Enclave raid, and the quest line that surrounds it. And who knows what new lore we'll discover and the secrets they keep.
Aww. So what's actually going on with the Scarlet Crusade now? Because this is fake shit now. This ain't real. I didn't really find out anything new. Besides the fact that they actually just take L's. Like, straight up. L after L. I don't think they've taken a single dub. Kinda sucks.